Welcome back to Desynced. My name is Nilaus and we are here back again with this wonderful game, and it's time for us to explore some more of the tech tree. So in the previous episode I've been sort of streamlining my base and getting it to work a little bit better in every way that I can. Now it's also time for us to, if you look at the glorious tech tree here, can I just unselect you? No, I can't. Let's look at it. So how much of the tech tree we don't have? We have a little bit of virus research unlocked, we have a little bit of blight research, we don't have the human unlocked. We're working our way through the advanced, and we have the robots down here. We have totally lots and lots of stuff. So I think that it's important for us to get started on the blight research and also just explore a little bit about how it works, why it works, and how it interacts. It is I don't know, unfortunately, but it's heavily linked to the human tech, so there's some things that you just can't get until you get the human tech. We'll cover it as much as possible. So first thing we should talk about is blight in general. So this is it. You can't see inside very well. You can't move through it. Well, you can move through it if you see here. This one can move through it, but you can't command it while it's inside. This says interference too high, cannot move into the blight. And once it's in there, it can't be controlled, but it can be controlled by automatic things. So that's brilliant. The way it unlocks the very first thing is when you unlock some blight crystals, and then you can get started. So this is where we already have. We have unlocked some blight crystals, and then we have unlocked the first blight extraction. I'm just going to show you how we do the first thing, because the first thing is you need to get some blight extraction. And that's a little bit tricky because I'm just going to ignore that one, because you have to be building inside the blight. And you can't really build there. So this is kind of what we're looking at. This is how I'm setting it up. I'm making a small S, and then they're going to be all feeding it into this one with the small blight container here and here. And we definitely need more of this. Right now we have a ton stored, but that's only because we haven't used it for anything. So the way I would propose to look at it is you go in here and just sort of have a look at locations that seem to be blighted, and then go, okay, so this is placeable and this is placeable, so maybe I place that one here, and then I can take some of these around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's pretty good, right? So we can get all this done, and then that will get us just another storage here. You can see how, well, you can't see how slow they progress because it's already empty. What if oh, you're also full. Yeah, so that's a lot. We are going to see if we can get one more of these down here. So this one I would say feels a little bit too far away. I can build that here, and then I can build these around it. Here, 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 here. These two probably not going to extract anything, so maybe just take that out. And this one's likely. This one's unlikely though to extract anything. Alright, so what we need to do is set up all of these as high priority, and then just get this done so that we have a massive amount of storage here. I don't even think this is enough, to be honest. Each of these have two of these miners here, and it takes 8 seconds to extract one. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, times 2. So it's extracting, but it's not exactly fast. What we also need to do then is we need to make a build up here, and let's look at it from a tech tree, because if we look at the tech tree, we then get the blight plasma, which requires some blight crystals and a lot of the blight they extract. And this is what we're going to need for the research into this area here. We are going to need the blight plasma as an inbound here, and then we're going to need blight plasma and the blight extraction as well for these researches. So this is what we need to do. So if we want to make here, actually that's not really how we want to do it. We want to do this one, fix all of them to blight plasma. Great. And then I want to tell you to do blight. This is just repeating the build that we have presented in a previous episode, except this is slightly different, because now I'm going to be linking you over here and then say, okay, so you want to make some blight plasma. Here's the problem. Even though we can get the blight, then we can't get any of the blight extraction because this is stored in a special storage. So what we really need to do is actually, instead of having over here one of these storage blocks, then I'm actually going to take a 1x1 that is 2s, make a storage in here, and then I'm also, wow, there's a lot of noise here. Then I'm also going to take a small blight container. because then I can store the blight here. This is also important for later on, how we want to do that. Now, I'm also going to need a small blight container into this one, which is actually going to be really difficult now that... yeah, let me just get another one of these blight containers. There. Then we're also going to need a blight container here, but here we can only use a small socket. So I'm going to need some kind of unit somewhere that we can use for ferrying things around. I know I have... Yes, I have you. So you are going to get... You're simply going to get 4 of the small ones. There. There you go. So that's ready. And did you get it? Yes. So I'm going to take one of them in here. That means now we have some storage over here. This storage will be dedicated to the just storage. And I will then do that one. Perfect. It actually puts it in here. So now we also have a storage here. We don't have storage in these ones yet, but that's the part we are looking for with this one. Well, it's got a few. So let's build one of the circuits or builds first. Now this one can then request, and here's another interesting thing. If I build this blight and I'm going to request the blight here, let's say I want 80 of that. So let's go, and that will request 2 inbounds here, and then 1 inbound here. That means there's only going to be 1 unit that comes in here with this, and that's just not enough, because it's coming from far away. Because each stack can only be serviced by 1 bot. So I would actually want to, even though I don't need it, I would actually get this up to 200. There. Just for the simple reason. Yeah, okay, you got stuck, but that's fine. Don't care. For the simple reason that it gets in here. Now, we will not get this in here because there is another catch to this. And that is, I don't want my drones to be working on Blight at the same time as doing something else. Oh, this is perfect. They're going to be put in here, and here, and here. And then I'm going to request 4 more. There we go. Because that's kind of important. Lock, and this will be locked to the output item and locked to empty. Good. So these are not coming in. Why are they not coming in? Well, even though we have a lot of it, I have decided that all my blight is going to be on network number 4. That means this one is a logistics bot, but it is not connected to 1, which is the normal grid. It's only connected to level 4 because it's dedicated to the blight container. So if I want to build another one of these, which I absolutely do, let's take the one that well, actually we only need 1 right now. So that means as soon as we have... Oh, this is cool. It actually works. Here, copy, paste. And these are set to channel 4 and transporters only. Yes. And this one is set to channel 4, and that's copy, paste. Let me make sure that these are also set correctly, because they should not be on channel 1, they should be on channel 4. That it really honestly matters very much, but I might as well. Alright, so this is our only logistics bot that is unconnected to the channel 4, and it is the only one that has Blight Extraction. Perfect. So if I set this up here to be both level 1, because it needs to be level 1 to get the crystals in, and level 4 because then it can get the blight in, we should hopefully see this fella here moving, and I've just marked where it's going. Perfect. Good. So we are now getting stuff inbound, and this will also be stored. Do I want to have this much in here? Nope. I'll just lock this in, so I only have 1 stack here. Then I'm gonna have some fixed item to the finished product, and then the rest will just be empty as is. These are all full. Okay, so let's see. Now you can receive, you can get output. Everything seems to be good here. I just need you to be pushing back here. Let's get this in. Looking good. This will be pushing in here, which will then push out here, and they get started to work. Then I want from this and push it out into this location. And then from here on, what we can do is just copy paste into all of these. Not these ones yet, because they're not really done. And I should have this blight one here. You can go up and make sure we feed these blight crystals, or these blight containers in. They are not going to work unless they also have this internal blight container. And of course I'm going to build the internal Blight container for all the other ones as well. So now we have a slow production of this, what are they called? Blight Plasma, which means we can get started on the next. But we are going to run out of things, so I have already prepared a little group here. This group will be in charge of the Blight Plasma, and I'm going to put the Blight Plasma here. Good, so now I need you to go, actually just enable, and I'm going to get you up to this location, so you'll be mining this area here. So that takes a little bit of time for you to get, yeah, it'll always notify me that it's running out, but sooner or later, or just in a little bit, it'll get up here. It'll get into this location, and then it will realize that it needs its friends, and as soon as we get, there we go. Now it needs its friends. I can unlock this one, and we should see a command here. This one is not, this has to be in here. There. And copy that to the other two. There. And they're now coming up here. They're now functioning as haulers as well. And what we'll see is that right here when we have the storage spot, it is identified that these ones, even though it's in the Blight or close to the Blight, even though we go into the Blight sometimes, and we will sort of, as we continue to mine this, we will get into the Blight. It's not really going to be a big deal. The only thing we definitely want is this one to be hooked up to one of these. Yeah, that one. We'll take that one. And if we just hook up to storage bot, there we go. So now you get your power. You can work as providing the power. It only provides 100 power to around it, but it's going to be enough. So we now have Blight mining. Blight mining will go into this location, which we don't have a lot of. So that's definitely another thing. This is accruing. That's good, but it's really slow. Like if we look at it, how slow it is also missing. What is it missing actually? Yeah, you can see how much it's missing this. And you can already now see that even though we built extra and we had storage and all that stuff, let me just get this, copy, paste, 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 paste. They are now getting in here and it's accruing. And we have 2 builders working on this. We're going to need way more than this. This is still good. So maybe it's actually more of a delivery problem. I have 2 of these working on delivering, and they're delivering about 100 every time. You should be working as well. Why are you not working? So this is now getting a little bit further. I've set it up to requesting 300, and that means when it sort of iterates, I will be able to contain 3 of these hauler Blight bots here. And you can see here there are now 3 commands, and that means we can keep 3 busy at all times, which should help bring stuff in, and it also should bring more in. So now that we have a little bit, how much do we actually have? We have 57, so that's a decent amount. Let's look at research at this point. So now we need to get into the research. We have a Blight charger, which seems really cool. Bots to move into blighted areas. Awesome! Except that it needs a locked item. That's aluminium that you get from human tech. Then we have the Blight turret, which seems good, and also a Blight data cube, and we can go over here and then we can unlock some chunks, but they need some unknown miner, a laser extractor from the human tech to unlock. So you can see there is tied to that, but we'll get all the stuff we need. We need to now get Blight and Blight Extraction and Blight Plasma into this location. Now notice that here we will have something in this location, something in this location. So I'm going to take some Blight and I'm going to get it to 100, I guess. And I am also going to get some of this new item here. Let's go 40. So that's 2 items. There we go. And that should lock these in. Lock it in. Lock it in. Do I only want 1? Maybe I do. I don't know. Let's get the research going for... Let's get the research going for this one first. Then we can have a little bit more time to figure out if we want... I think we want 200 here. There. Good, which means that they will have a lot of storage. And if we look back down at this location, we have now built all this, and it's definitely not working. Oh my god, the noise. It's killing me. Get in there, and you're on number 4 and transport only. So now copy, paste, 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 paste. Sorry, that's noisy. And that's on 4. Cool, you need to go away. So now we have 3 locations. Does this actually extract? No, this one doesn't extract anything. The other ones do extract. No, not this one. Yeah, so this is the problem, that you are going to end up building some that don't actually officially reside inside the Blight, and therefore they won't get you anything And that's the problem right now, but you just make more, you still get a pretty decent amount for all of this. And let's have a look at our research. Also, this research is, I'm pretty happy about it, how well it works. So you can see that they are now working on a Blight Shield. They are now getting a little bit, they only get 20 into each because I have, no, I've never even set it to 20. It just, however, what it feels like it needs to get. And I guess that's because if we look at the research, it is 30 of those. So, okay, so it's actually this one coming in. So you're getting this, and all of these have a little light up, and we should see the Blight Shield research progressing quickly. And so we got the first research, the Blight Charger that we can't make, and the Blight Container Medium, which is probably really good for storage, but yeah, well, we're gonna make the next one, and we're gonna add this to queue because that's helped a lot. So now we need to both get the plasma, the Blight Plasma, and the Blight Extraction going. And that is, well, that's actually what we're requesting in here. So we can see that if we look in here, they are working on all of them, and they take 100 seconds because of the number. Now, I also want to do something else. Notify the Blight Crystals. Oh, this is interesting. Here, now you see the issue here, that now they dig into this, and they're just going to be really slow while moving in here. And there's not really anything I can do about it. It's just the way it is. I'm also setting up an extra location here. That one, copy, paste, and paste. So just trying to get as much blight as we can. And then I'm using this mobile power pole that we used for our miners before. We just use that again for this now. This is working, it's keeping in stock. What I want to do is I want to start working on the next part. Let's see, and here, okay, so we have to get the blight crystals before we can do that. So this is also, you can see we need Blight Plasma for this, 5 Blight Plasma for just one of those. But I can start working on the formation of this. There, that's going to be the same location as this. This one is actually, ironically enough, this is going to be exciting stuff. Okay, there we go. Look at that disgusting thing. That is for here. So you're going to be reading that, and that's going to go into that one. And that's weird. No, it was not that. It was this one. There we go. And then we can also enable this. You are moving into this. Yes, you are on number 2, and your transporters only. There we go. It's now working. It pushes back. This one pushes back here. So now we actually have this disgusting thing here, also working on getting some iron, some virus cubes. But that's not what we're working on. We're going to work on here. That's the input, and that's the output. And then in order for us to make, we need to figure out where it's made. Is it in a, oh no, we have to figure out where it's made. It is made in a refinery. Okay, so we just meet the refinery template, like that. Okay, so let's get this one built while we're waiting for another research to complete.
We should continue studying the Blight and find a way to counter the storms that interfere with our equipment. If we can find a way to stabilize the Blight, it can improve our communications with our mothership and allow us to send resources up through the atmosphere.
Cool, so now we got one more, and that enables us to get into the Blight Visibility, which means we can actually see stuff in here, which would be nice. Like, even when we're standing here, we can barely see anything. So we can get Blight Visibility as the next, and this also just requires, yeah, both of those. Then we need to get to chunks, but we can't get that. This one is working just well, and we are also over here. Now we can actually make it, so let's start making this one. I'll just reiterate this because this is pretty damn cool, and it works wonders. There we go, and that tells us what to build. Now here's the trick to it. In order for this requires 2 items inbound, and I need to make sure that those items inbound are fixed before I do anything, otherwise it fails. And that is here, maybe like that. And then this will be the output, that output being here. That's important. Why is it important? Because as soon as I drag this one over, it'll try to fill up all of these 4 slots with 1 Blight Plasma, 1 Robotics, 1 Blight, 1 Robotics, and then there's no room for the output, and that's kind of important. So Not even gonna drag you in here yet, because we need to make sure that all these are done. And that is, we can just see here. So it's a lot of this. 100 of this. Ouch. You can see why we need so much blight. And just 20. Yeah, let's get a little bit more. And not that one. Go. Go. And then lock it. So once this is done, then I need to do the same thing in here. This will be one of these. A few. Actually not. And 2 of those. And then 1 output. There. And the rest will... Oops. 1 output. And the rest will be locked. So now I can link you in here. I can link you in here. And they will automatically go in here. And you can link back in there. And then the whole thing is done. Just checking. This is on 2. And copy. And then I do paste, paste. Paste, 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 paste. There we go. So we now have a fully fledged production of the next crystals, which obviously is going to be taking all of our resources moving forward. We also have to put some in here, but I think we have enough here for this research. Also, interestingly enough, kind of maxing out our power. That is another little thing that we can easily solve. Let's see, did we get that power yet, or that research yet? I think we have. Yes, the big power poles here. So let's also start looking into that. That's pretty simple. Just get a 2M building, get it up here, and then once that's done, we put some new solar panels in, because they're really good. And we now got Blight Visibility. Not that it's actually something we can use, because we need this laser extractor that's part of the human tech. So maybe the next episode will be about unlocking the human tech and what that includes. What we can do is enable advanced power generation and storage. That seems pretty cool, except it needs blight bars and something else we don't have. So that's kind of sad. This is requiring, or is giving us some plasma turrets. Interesting. A lot of damage, 15 per second. Not so much, actually. That's actually not so much. Let's have a look at... And this one we can't do because it requires chunks. These ones we can't do because they require this item, and which requires a data analyzer. So, you know, that's a little bit complicated. This also looks really cool. An alien terraformer. But we'll get started on the blight power and then queue up the other one afterwards. Although we do not have them, and therefore, if we look at what we need, we no longer need the plasma. Or we no longer need this blight plasma inbound, so I should change this part to not do that, but instead do this one. There. Get these 2 out, and you can then get this out to... Let's get it over there. Not enough free space to transfer. Really? It should have free space to transfer that. Well, I'm just going to allow you to be also supplying for a little bit at least, so that this gets out here. Yeah, and once this one goes another right cycle, these 2 will be inbound, and they will be both on level 1 and level 2. There we go, they are here, and I will now no longer allow it to supply items because I don't want anyone to be picked up from this location. But hey, we got a little bit, and that little bit is coming in here, and that's gonna go into the first one. So we have a tiny chunk of inbound here that will get going, and we'll just wait a little bit for the rest of them to also get in. So power is coming in, or this research is coming in slowly, but we are getting the medium power generator, which unfortunately we can't build just yet. And we only have 1 left, and that's the magnification that we just want to get as well, just so that we complete all these steps. Now that's going to be just taking a long time, and I don't think that there's much to it. I really think that what we need to do now is get some human tech, and then we can do some obsidian. So that's going to be in the next episode. We're going to be diving deep into the human tech, how to figure out human factories, human things, and all that, all things being human. I love the fact that humans are something that's different from that we're not part of the human faction. So thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you've learned a little bit about the Blight and how it works, and kind of a little bit about the tech that we can unlock here. And we're going to be diving into the human tech. If you have some ideas for optimizations and stuff like that we can do in the game, then by all means let me know. Also check out my Discord. It's on Twitch TV. No, not Discord. Twitch. The live streams of Desynced twitch.tv/Nilaus, and I'm streaming it regularly, so do check it out in when I'm streaming it. Of course, all the save games and all my programs and blueprints are available to Patreon supporters, so if you are supporting on Patreon at Protector level or higher, you get access to all of the stuff, including the save games that I'm building here. So thank you very much. Until next time, take care, and as always, stay effective.